I hear something going on out there. See if I can switch this camera around here real quick. Are we live? Is it working? Can I switch the camera around here? Juan Brown, Nevada County Airport. It's going to be the Airfest tomorrow, the 20th of, what month is it, boys? July? Thanks. We got technical help down here by John and Mark. We're expecting the arrival of a three-ship formation, a Hawker Seafury and two AT-6s and an additional camera ship. They've just departed Auburn Airport and they should be coming up here soon. Okay, it's working. All right, folks are checking in already. Good, good, good. Now let me flip this camera around and tell me if this works. Are we still live? We still working? We're here in front of the line off in front of Jim Booth's AT-6. All right, it's working. We got a P2V Neptune right back here. We got two more AT-6s right here. We got Mike Doherty from about 40 years ago.
Technical correction, PV2.
PV2. We got Mark Beadle. Haven't seen him in 30 years. Say hi, Mark.
Hi.
Yeah. And we got the B-25 is way up at the other end of the airfield. And we got the C-47 parked right back here. We'll get a tour of that here in a little bit. All right, Gilbert, Arizona, checking in. Now, I won't be able to read too many of the comments as they pop up. Well, maybe I will. I'll switch the camera around and it should work just fine. And we got Stu Carson right here, the resident elder senior. still up and about. And we got these three young boys here today, come to check out all the activity. And you heard about all this on the Facebook, did you? Kinda. Good. All right, well, thanks for coming up. And of course, the big show's tomorrow. Be going on all day. And how's the audio? Is it okay? Can you hear? Can you hear my bucket mouth all right? And let me show you one more thing down here while we're waiting for the three ship. Audio's great. Thanks. Thanks. This is the Super Tug. What power is this Super Tug? 650 horse V8. Great. And this is what they use to move the big heavy aircraft around. And you see them at a lot of air shows out here on the West Coast. Watching from El Dorado. All right. Okay, I hear something in the distance.
Yep, there it is.
Where? You see him? Where at, boys?
Right over the trees. Right over the trees to the right of the tree line.
Okay. And are they making a turn? Okay, they're making a turn away at this point.
Yeah, it's a four-ship. They're turning away. Mark.
Okay, it's a four-ship. So three-ship with the camera ship on there. We sent Brian O'Brien up there to get some stills, and hopefully he'll get some video as well. Gridley, all the way from Gridley. Now, one thing with the live feed is on a cell phone is you're going to get the occasional phone call and text and that sort of thing, so stand by for that. The Canadian Maple Leaf version. Check out the exhaust on this. What is the story with this exhaust stack on this?
In Canada, they had to have heat, so they put a big heat exchanger in the exhaust stack. You'll see it looks just like a regular T6 kind of coming out of the building.
Yeah.
And then that big exhaust pipe has a heat exchanger in it that lets air come from the heat exchanger into the cabin.
So when you're freezing cold in Canada, learn how to fly, that's how you got your heat in the cabin, right there.
Yep.
And would this be technically an SNJ then?
This is a Harvard Mark IIA.
Harvard Mark IIA. Wow. But it's still considered North American, built by North American?
Yeah, built by North American and given to the Canadians on Lend-Lease.
Excellent.
Yep.
And where's this one live?
Mustang Field down near Galt.
Galt. All right, very good. Thanks for bringing her up.
You're welcome.
Did you get your gas?
I did.
And are you going to join us at the party tonight?
Yes.
Very good. We'll see you there.
So will Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Hi.
All right. How was your ride? You ride around that thing all the time?
was my first time.
Really?
Actually.
What did you think?
It was great. It was fun.
Loud?
Sorry, a little loud.
Uh-huh.
I've got a good setup with some earplugs and noise canceling headphones. Though.
No aerobatics?
No aerobatics.
All right. No, you didn't fill any bags or anything like that? Good,
maybe
good.
next time.
And this is all the luggage you could fit on board, I bet.
Yeah.
Right there.
all you need for a couple days.
Good. Well, thanks for coming up. There's our 3 ships still orbiting around out there getting getting photographs. You can hear them off in the distance. Well, come on, boys. We got a live feed to fill here. I got to stand here and fill all this time up with me jabbering. Let's go take a quick look at the DC-3 while we're waiting here. We'll have a lot more to look at tomorrow as more aircraft show up. PV2, right, Mark? Is that what we decided?
P2, that's correct.
Neptune, right?
No, that's the P2V.
Oh, right. This was the Hudson, wasn't it?
Not sure, but it's very similar to the Lockheed Lodestar.
Right. And what does that say up in there? What engine are we looking at up in there, Mark? You're tall enough. Can you figure that out? Is that the 2800 Pratt & Whitney?
It's Pratt & Whitney, but I can't read the plaque.
Good. Don't feel the pressure. Just walk around and show the planes to the
I think
people.
that's a different nose case.
And look at this one, was loaded for bear. They got guns on this one.
Yep. Yep.
Look at this. These are drop tanks. These are not bombs, by the way. These were some kind of rockets. Yeah. Navy ship. Look at this. They got big Bombay, probably a torpedo down there in the bottom.
I believe so, yes.
Look at all that oil leaking off the top there. It's a good radial engine. Looks like you got a tail gunner position right back here.
I believe these were used for coastal patrol.
Aero engines, R1340. That's right.
Not the case, look different.
Looks like there's a turret on top that's covered in canvas there.
Yep.
Woodland, California. All right. We got the super chat on this time. Somebody reminded me to do that, so thanks. There's the tail mechanism, how to get your rudders to work. Sydney, Australia. Good morning. Are those drop tanks made of paper? No, they're all aluminum. But you can drop them if you have to. Here's your fuel vent for the drop tanks. Houston, Texas. There goes Stu. Brazil, all right, is watching. Very good. You guys were wondering about the RZ. I got the RZ fired up and going. She's running good. Got a lot more work to do on her, and I'll give you a full, complete update on that here in the near future. C-47 with genuine, authentic invasion stripes on this one. I think they said Paso Robles. We'll talk to the crew here in a minute. The C-47, of course, is huge wingspan. Now, this one, I believe, has the Pratt & Whitney's 1830s as opposed to the Wright 1820s. This particular aircraft has done a lot of flying in the last couple of weeks and just got back from the big Normandy celebration overseas. So it has successfully flown all the way overseas and back. Made it here for this show. There's the giant landing gear, and it sucks up into here. There's your oil tank right up there. Control cables running through. Retraction cylinder right there. Now, some of these had bungee cords up in here, and I remember having to change those out years ago on one we were working on. What's the range of the C-47? Good question. The crew's not here right now, so I can't get a lot of these questions answered about the C-47. I'll see if I can track them down here in a little bit. Hydraulically actuated drum brakes. And it's got some sort of exhaust augmentation as well.
County traffic, Hawker 85 Sierra Fox, flight 3 is about 5 miles to the east of the airport. We're going to join a wide left downwind and make a pass on runway 7. Anyone in the pattern at Nevada County, please advise.
Okay, did you hear that? Our 4-ship formation is going to do a runway 7 flyby. So this is the bigger arrival that we've been waiting for. We're just off to the east right now. Betsy's Biscuit Bomber, Spirit of the American West. I can't.
Traffic, North American Zero Hotel Alpha is following the flight of 3.
Get the camera, get the radio up here so you can hear it a little better. Okay, there's the flight of 3 getting up on the downwind there. Let me get in a little better position for all of this. So this is being Nevada County Airport, my hometown airport. The runway runs east and west. So it's runway 25. That's looking to the east. If you take off this way, you're taking off towards the west on a 250 heading. The opposite direction is runway 7.
What airport are you at, ma'am?
Aircraft on downwind, Nevada County, be advised. We got a 3-ship formation. Left downwind for runway 07. We'll be doing a flyby.
I see you on downwind. Do you mind holding out to the east there for just a minute? Let us come down the runway. That'll be fine. Thank you. Nevada County.
Good. We got that sorted out. Okay, here they come. Try and hold this real still for you guys.
Alpha's about 2-mile trail behind the flight of 3.
About that. 3-ship formation should be the Seafury in the lead, flown by Ken Dwelle. One of the T6 is flown by Tom Senior, the other T6 flown by Tom Dwelle Jr. The entire Dwelle family. Outstanding. Now that Seafury in the lead is really going slow for the T6s. Here comes your camera ship.
Nevada County traffic, 632 is turn left downwind to runway 7.
Smoke on!
Number 2, left downwind, 7.
So they're all pitching out for an overhead formation. We've talked about overhead formations on this channel before.
And Nevada County traffic, North American Zero Hotel Alpha is number 3, behind the other 2 T6s.
The smoke lingering in the trees there. Of course, that's smoke oil. That's just paraffin wax-based oil.
Aircraft that's on left downwind for runway 25 in Nevada County. Do you mind holding for a minute? I'll do a low pass with the Seafury and then land.
Yeah.
$6565A was going on the other side for joining both there.
Nevada County traffic, 6 lane is left base, 7 off Nevada County.
So Ken's going to give us a good higher speed flyby, hopefully in the Seafury. We've got the traffic deconflicted with the downwind traffic.
Nevada County traffic, T6 number 2, left base 25. Nevada County.
All the photographers, these are a whole lot of big-time aviation photographers are here at Nevada County today to capture all this activity.
Problem is they're landing the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's right into the sun.
Right into the
Sorry about that, but this runway 7 is uphill, so for the faster aircraft, they need to take advantage of this uphill runway on runway 7.
Nevada County traffic, T6 number 2 is the short final now. Runway 7, Nevada.
That is Tom.
Nevada County traffic, T6 number 3, base runway 7, Nevada County.
Tom Dwelle Senior in the number 2 T6. Here goes the lead 6. Kitchen pass. These are all Reno Air Racers as well. He's down. Nice and straight and smooth. This should be Tinker Toy with the invasion stripes.
Number 3's base, sorry, during short final runway 7, Nevada County.
Oh, there was an empty seat in there, Mark. Did you see that?
I saw that. Blasphemy.
Okay, the Seafury's up there, gonna get some smash for his pass after we.
Clear, Bravo.
The T6 is down on the ground. Third T6 coming in. Gomer, Ohio. It's very hard for me to read the text flying by, but
Nevada County, Cessna 6565A will be starting in 45 steps downwind for 07.
T62, clear, Bravo.
painted up in German colors with a reverse back seat. That's Brian. Brian O'Brien. Wave, Brian. He's got the ultimate camera ship there with that reverse seat and the open canopy.
Number 3's on the ground.
San Clemente checking in. Now, Mark, we're probably gonna have to move. These big choppers are coming right down the way here. They're gonna park over here, so I'm gonna slide down here for this
Flaps, Tommy.
Seafury flyby. Get your flaps up, Tommy. Can't be taxiing in with your flaps down. That used to mean a whole different thing in the airline industry.
Nevada County, Cessna 6558 is downwind of 07.
She's still trying to get in the pattern. There's our Cessna on downwind for 7. We'll be setting up narrating right over here for tomorrow. Now, where is our Seafury? Okay, there he is. Just loafing along.
Basic flight, we're going to park you to the east of the C-47 for now. We'll tow you into position later.
That's right. That is what the old flaps down while taxiing in used to mean. That's correct. Oroville, all the way from Oroville. Well, you ought to get on over here for tomorrow. Look at those props. Let me see if I can get a zoom in here a little bit and hold her steady for you. There you go. Is airspace management difficult at a small airport with this much traffic? It can be, but every pilot is on their own to manage the traffic themselves. It's called a unicom or uncontrolled airfield. So some of us have handheld radios here on the ground and we just try to help out without interfering with the traffic flow. Alaska! UK. Boise, we're just up there. Boston, Honolulu, Washington State. Holy smokes. Long Beach. This is the global reach of the Blanco Lirio network. New Zealand and Phoenix and Montana and Brazil, Michigan, Oregon, South Carolina, Club Ed, Reno. Idaho Falls, oh, Fort Myers, Pennsylvania, they're just flying by. Man, we're gonna sure have a lot of AT6s here this year. Antigua, Atlanta. That reminds me of the old ham radio days. We used to get out there on the ham radio and try to collect as many different stations as we could. Do it quite easily on the YouTube. Okay, here's our 172 traffic. Finally was able to get blended in with everybody else. She's on the ground. Now we should be able to get the Seafury going. Netherlands. At the crash pad in LA. Keep that seat warm.
Skyhawk, you have to stop right there. Or stop it here.
Okay, we got the Seafury on the downwind for 7 for a low approach. Hopefully Ken will wind her up a little bit. Oh yeah, he's winding her up. Gosh, turn that thing off, man. Turn that Cessna off. We don't want to hear that thing. Let me get down here a little further away from him. Oh, he's winding it up good. Now listen to this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Unzoom here. God damn. Look at that climb. Boy, I hope he gives me another one. I really kind of botched the camera on that one. Try to get the zoom all the way off here. Let me do this real quick. Stand by. Flip the camera. Okay, let me flip it back ahead. There, unzoomed it. Dang it, I didn't have it all the way unzoomed. Ken, you got enough fuel for another one? Thanks. So the shot came out okay, and it's hard to see what I'm doing going into the sun here. Low approach. Okay, I'm not going to dick with the zoom on this shot.
Okay, there's a Seafury doing a low approach down 7, and I'll be pitching up to land on 7 at Nevada County.
Okay, let's try this again. Another great pass. Ken Dwelle in the Hawker 2-seat Seafury. 2800 powered. Gotta get ready for the windup. That's the way to do it. Yeah. Much better. Wow.
Nevada County Seafury 5 Sierra Fox, picking up the left downwind runway 7 on the full stop.
Did you hear that? He's going to full stop on this one. On the downwind, pitching up, getting the gear down speed. The landing gear has been a little temperamental on this aircraft in the past. This is the former Reno Air Racer Critical Mass, and before that Blind Man's Bluff, and is now being turned back into stock configuration. An amazing restoration. Ken here, former F-117 Air Force pilot, flying it today on that high left base. Johnny Hart, world famous photographer, the Union newspaper. That's where I get all my phony press credentials. He's been taking pictures of me since I was 15 years old up here at the airport. Base to final, nice round approach, keeping the runway in sight. The curved approach allows the pilot to keep the runway in sight over that long, long nose. Stabilized. Wheel land, boom, pin it on there.
County traffic, 38 Kilo Charlie is.
Look at the size of that prop.
Across the midfield, 1500 over for left traffic, 25, Nevada County.
That T6 was Tinker Toy, correct. Yeah, piston power over jet power any day. For sure. Here comes our student pilot and crew with their 172. I'm glad to see finally some pilot training is finally taking place. There's a renewed interest in general aviation and flying in general. Hopefully not too late to catch up with this current pilot shortage we got going on. All right, let's get in position and get this Seafury taxiing in. Check out the size of this paddle on this Seafury. The field elevation here is 3,150 feet. The pattern is typically flown at 1,000 feet above the ground. But the temperature today is warm, so your density altitude is considerably higher. Love the 172. Christy, say hi. Hi. You're live. There's one of our biggest Blanco Lirio fans right there. Christy, retired airline pilot and president of our local flying club. New York. What's his bandit number? Not sure. No, I didn't read about that. Draco and the big tire boys are all going to Oshkosh. Remember, this is Oshkosh weekend, and so we kind of conflict. We moved the date of this event from the weekend after the 4th of July till today, and so now we're conflicting with Oshkosh. We deconflicted with Truckee, but now we conflicted with Oshkosh. They're asking about folding the wings or not. Remember, the Hawker Seafury does have foldable wings. Interview the student. It might be a good idea. Okay, there he goes. He's got the wing fold going on. He can squeeze right in here now. Hang on to your head. Oh, the smell of that 100 octane. Check out those straight stacks. Yes, it's beautiful. What a beast, the Hawker Seafury here at Nevada County Airport. This aircraft was is about ready to go to the paint shop and finish up this restoration. Morning, Ken, you're live.
That's all right. Great. Get here. Smile.
Yeah, the sound is just unbeatable.
Juan, you poached my picture.
Yeah,
Took
what are
a
you
video,
doing, man?
And you poached it, man.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
good. Which T6 did you bring in
I
today?
was in Kitchen Pass. We brought Kitchen Pass, Tinker Toy, and the Seafury.
Right.
A flight of 3, which we have not had the 3 airplanes up yet together.
So that's kind of a historic Dwelle family
Well, it really
first.
is. You know, the old man's not getting any younger.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
we got to do it soon.
Yeah, I can hear him on the radio. Yeah.
He was in Tinker Toy, Ken in the Seafury course, and we had Brian Sanders in the lead with Brian O'Brien in the back taking pictures. So
Great.
hopefully we get some good pictures.
Pictures out of the whole thing too.
Good excuse to come up here.
Yeah. Great. Thanks so much for bringing all this up. And there he is, Tom Senior. How you doing, man?
Tom's great. If that doesn't give you a Woody, man, it can't happen.
That's right. This is Tom Wiley Senior. This is his kids and his airplanes, and what a great show bringing that up.
This is new for me. That's the first time I've really heard one of my high-speed passes.
Yeah.
Normally I'm flying, you know, but this is great, man. That gets, that'll make the hair stand up on your neck.
Yeah. And a little bit of your history. You're a former Sandy driver from Vietnam era, right?
I flew 270 fighter bomber missions in the Sky Raider 1965. I flew the first Sandy mission ever to go into North Vietnam,
Really?
June of 1965, escorting a CIA helicopter. We pulled our Navy lieutenant out of the jungle,
You got him.
and I went on to write the ops plan for the search and rescue for United States Air Force. They're still using it today.
Wow.
Well, we had a lot of fun. It was an interesting year. We lost 29 of our 100 A1Es,
Yeah.
Sky Raiders, and 33 guys down, and
Man.
3 or 4 in Hanoi.
Yeah.
Some of those never came back.
Never came back. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Wow.
I tell you, it was a natural thing to go from that into the Seafury. This one has the Wright 3350 18-cylinder engine.
You're still running the 3350.
We are.
Oh, I stand corrected. That's right, because most of them are converted to 2800s.
No, there's 1 or 2,
Okay.
but the majority of them still have 3350s, I believe.
And that's the favored conversion over the stock engine, which was the Bristol Centaurus.
The Centaurus engine, a sleeved valve engine, and I've seen 3 of those guys in the pattern, in the bingo pattern at one time in Reno, because they don't do well. All those moving parts,
Yeah.
the sleeves going up and
Yeah.
down and round and round and twisting, they don't do well being over boosted
Yeah.
and over revved, all of which we do
Do
at
at Reno, yeah.
So I've seen 3 of them in the flame out pattern at one time. In fact, I've been there myself in the middle of that group one time. But this engine here is 2,800 horsepower.
Okay.
It's 3,350 cubic inch. The engine that I was running at Reno was 4,200 horsepower.
Woo!
And at that, and we blended 160 octane fuel with 4 grams of lead and 2 grams of manganese to slow the flame pattern down, and we could increase the timing a little bit.
Water injection?
Oh yeah, ADI.
ADI?
Detonation injection. Oh yeah, I had to. It's 50%
Yep.
distilled water and 50% methanol. And oh yeah, you had to, because if the inlet air temperature gets past the supercharger and goes in the carburetor at more than 200 degrees, it'll detonate the engine. These hot rod Mustang engines, they blow up in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So I always had my water pump pressure, my ADI pump pressure in the upper left. There. So going around the course, I'm always looking at it. Hey, Wiz?
And that, of course, was when he was racing this aircraft as critical mass, which, like I said earlier, this aircraft has now been turned back to stock configuration.
How you doing?
It can't happen. I'm doing great.
Good. That was fun.
I'm doing great. You know, shit, that's the first time I've ever seen one of my high-speed passes. No, that's great. Awesome. I can't believe it. It's a happy day, man.
Good. Well, I'm glad we did that. This was the first time it's been a goal of ours since we started the restoration work on the Seafury to get the three of us,
Yep.
me, Tom,
Yep.
up in these three airplanes. Our P6s with
Outstanding.
Seafury. So,
Outstanding, man.
glad we could finally get that done. Thanks to Brian Sanders, who flew the photo ship, and
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
We'll see if you remember to put film in the camera.
Yeah. This time. Outstanding. Oh man. Ha.
It's a happy day, Wes.
Great.
You know, that airplane is such a joy in the air, but on the ground it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It's a chore, yeah.
Yeah, the passes look fantastic, man. I got them. We're going live. We're live here on YouTube right now, and we got your passes, and
Really?
and that was a great interview, Tom. Just perfect interview. Just blew my mind. Yeah.
I'm glad you pulled the flaps up finally.
Yeah. Oh, that was you left them down. Okay.
No, that was me later.
So that was you. And who's this? Who's your passenger here?
Yeah, here, hang on. This is my son, Greg.
Hey, Greg. Congratulations, man. You got the,
G-R-A-Y, like the color.
yeah. So we got a 3-generational flight going on here.
we did, exactly.
This is truly historic.
Yeah, we did a flight back a couple of Memorial Days ago with him in his great-grandfather's flying suit, who was on my mom's side, who was a colonel.
Oh, wow.
B-52 pilot, all that kind of stuff. And we put the flight suit on and went out on Memorial Day and flew over everything we could find, every parade we could find. It was good stuff.
So, Gray, are you going to get into flying yourself? Hopefully, yeah. Well, you certainly got the looks for it.
You got a beer.
Could I take a quick peek up in the machine here? Ken, we're going to take a quick look up in the Seafury here. Give the folks overseas a chance to look at this
You
thing.
want to, let me hold that.
Okay, and then
You climb up there.
okay, I'm getting rid of this.
It's going to be slippery as something I can't fit. So oh, wait, hold on. Hang on. So
Okay.
you don't bust your ass. Hold on to this. Let me get a rag.
Okay, we got it. I want to climb up here, and we're going to show you the cockpit. We got to get all this oil off of here. I'm going to
Try to save our presenter.
Yeah. Really makeup. Wow, what a treat. What a great interview. This is just amazing.
Need maintenance. Get the ground crew over.
Yeah, there's the crew chief. It's a big plane, so you gotta be a little athletic to climb up there. She's drawn a good crowd of folks here to see all this. There's Brian O'Brien, got the pictures. Brian, you get the camera, filming the camera? Okay, so.
Okay, so now,
Okay. Yeah, just don't
foot in the stirrup.
Okay.
Yep, handhold there.
Switches up first, Brian.
Oh, man. And if you get up higher and put your, like you could put your foot near that step. So I'd go farther up and I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah, and the rest of it's good. Okay, I think this will do.
That work? Okay.
Okay, are we still on and running? Good. Okay, here we are in the cockpit of stock Seafury, no longer critical mass. Wow, is this a clean restoration? Holy smokes! Now, I'm hanging on for my life here, so I can't point things out very well. So you're just going to have to follow along. But starting up here in the upper row, you got a G meter and your looks like GPS, radio, Garmin products. More Garmin products in the middle, and check out the stick. It's kind of a yoke sort of affair. Guns, bombs, safe, right there on the yoke itself. Press to transmit is on top of the yoke. Undercarriage unlocked, day and night. Interesting. We get one of the Ken here to explain. Anyways, throttle should be right there. Mixture and prop. There's a supercharger, mixture. Here you'll find elevator trim tab. There's a rudder trim tab right there. Of course, rudder pedals. Look at that, the old leather straps to keep your feet on the rudders. And I assume that's a rudder trim, the knob in between the two rudder pedals. main fuel cock there in the red. Jettison drop tanks right there in the big red knob. Your fuel management panel right over here on the right. Cockpit heat. There's an oxygen hookup. I believe that's a vent device right there. There's your magnetic compass. Your all important turn coordinator right in the middle. This is why it's so hard to see out of these things on the ground in the 3-point configuration. Why it's also preferred to wheel land these things so you can see over the nose better. And look at the size of that prop. That's got to be at least 13-foot diameter. It is a beast, an absolute beast. But it's greatly tamed now that it's back to its stock configuration. Of course, you wear just a sport type parachute harness, and I've got to try and get down here without busting my ass. So stand by. Hey Tim, come here a sec. You're live on YouTube. Tim O'Brien, my co-conspirator in crime here, announcing tomorrow. Hold this camera for me carefully without hitting any switches.
Got it.
And I'm gonna try and get down off this thing.
This we gotta see.
Yeah. Busting my ass.
Holy
Man, that's
cow,
a
we're
leap.
getting old.
That's a leap of faith off of that high stoop there. So Tim, we got a lot of good airplanes here this year.
It's looking really good so far. We're
Yeah.
gonna have a bunch more tomorrow, just the same. So
Good,
Yeah.
good. And of course, we just got a great interview with the Dwellies on this historic family reunion flight. Just amazing.
that's a history-making moment.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's really something. What is the Dwelle family industry? They're in the petroleum products the movement of petroleum products nowadays.
Yeah, it started out as Nella Oil, now it's Flyers Energy.
Okay.
So they deliver fuels all over the country, all over the place.
So anytime you see a Flyers sign on a fuel station, it's these guys. And it's good to own a gas station or two if you own a plane like this. Well, let's take some more detailed looks at the Seafury here. Here's the folding wing mechanism. I assume these are 50 cals here. Now the Seafury, of course, kind of missed World War II. It's a post-World War II aircraft. So this is the epitome of reciprocal engine design before the jet age. And this is the 3350 engine as opposed to the stock Bristol Centaurus. As Tom explained, for air racing purposes, the sleeve valve engine simply couldn't hold up. Here's the stock landing gear system. It's had some issues over the years, but it's working well now. And there's an idea of some of the plumbing that goes on. There's the gear actuator. Here's part of your fuel system, I believe, and the fuel tanks up above my head here. Door actuators, just clean as a button. Here's an accumulator for the hydraulic system. Oh, what do you got under here? Same thing right here. Here's your part of your up lock mechanism. Very, very critical that all that be set up just perfectly so. This spring tension needs to be set up just so to break the over center lock on the gear so that the gear can come up. This mechanism here needs to be pushed up before the gear can fold up. Here's part of the locking mechanism right here. All right, Super Chat's working. Thanks for checking in. Wow. And just love these straight stacks. Ask Tom, he can't hear a damn thing. Here's a part of the mechanism for the gear, for the wing locking mechanism. Tiny little bits and pieces.
Nice.
Beautiful restoration, Ken. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sort of
Well,
a
this guy and his brother had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, Saunders, yeah, yep. Spent a lot of time down there. Split flap sort of design here. And of course, all this has to work with the wings folded. I assume this is where you work the ammo in for the guns, I suppose, right here. Drop tanks. Where was your drop tank mounts? Probably out here for your drop tank mounts. Formation lights up there. It's beautiful without paint, isn't it? Just looking at all that sheet metal work. Here's your interesting looking tail wheel design. Data plate on the back there. Elevator trim tab, very critical right there. Rudder trim tab.
Yep. We have them. This is the restored Reno racer. Yep. Put back.
Yeah, of course it's a fighter design. What's he doing there? And of course with the 2-seat configuration you can train pilots up in it.
Yeah. Basically. And it is interesting though to see bring the flap center out. It doesn't do a big. It doesn't balloon. It doesn't do much. You'll find that true. You know, even if you come into a formation that's going fast, if you come in with a bunch of other fighters, and you come smoking up into them, you know, and they're 250 knots, and you come smoking in at 270 or something. You know, at that speed, reach over, throw out a notch of flaps, and the thing just doesn't do much. It may have just a slight elevated feeling, but it doesn't have any pitch. Doesn't do anything weird.
Is that part of the split flap design, you think, or?
Well, there's lots of reasons to do split flap versus a full wing, but that may be.
That it doesn't pitch up maybe so much might be an advantage of the split flap?
Might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I honestly
They had
don't
it all
know.
figured out by the time they built this airplane.
Yeah.
This was the last of the piston fighters.
Exactly, last of the
But you
piston
know, like a
fighters.
Bearcat and a Hellcat, you know, those don't have, they're not a split flap. I don't have as much time in those. But I don't remember them as having a big pitch change with flaps either.
Now, which Saunders are you? Dennis Saunders?
I'm Brian.
Brian Saunders. Okay, great. And you're the Eagle's Nest Aviation and all that?
Well, it was Sanders Aircraft.
Okay.
I recently asked to be bought out of the business. I'm no longer affiliated.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sad story, but that's
But you're still into the old airplanes.
still into the
Yeah.
old airplanes. I bought an AT-6 and I wanted to keep my hand in flying the warbirds.
Oh, good, good.
So, it's a big step down from a Seafury, but you know it's mine.
Yeah, you could probably afford to fly it a little more. And of course, you raced for years, didn't you, up at Reno yourself? Yeah.
I've got I have 5 second place finishes in Dreadnought.
Dreadnought. So you were the Dreadnought pilot for all those years.
Well, my brother and I would trade off every other year.
Uh-huh.
So I think he's first flew it in 91. I first flew Dreadnought in 92. And then we'd alternate every other year. And my last year I raced Dreadnought was 2016. But I have 5 second place finishes in Dreadnought, and I trade them all for 1 first.
Yeah, that's so elusive, man. That's so. And Dreadnought, it was the 4360 powered
Yep,
Seafury,
28
right?
cylinder.
And by the time you'd get to second place, it's because the Merlins just couldn't hack it and they would peel off, or.
Well, when we first started to go to Reno, that was early. It was 83.
Yeah.
We first took Dreadnought, and it had them scratching their heads because it was fun. We went up there and all the Mustangs cut down canopies, clipped wings, and they just reek of racers. You know, it's got a little V12 Merlin, and we show up with Dreadnought with
huge.
full-length wings,
Yeah.
bulletproof windshield, 2-seat dual control. With a 4360 on it. So technically it's a trainer. It was the trainer version of the Seafury. And we went up and set top qualifier in 83, 84, 85, and then we set a qualifying record in 86.
Wow.
With our 2-seat dual control trainer. And it was driving the Mustang guys nuts.
Yeah.
You know, but they figured it out. They cleaned up their airplanes even more, and they got more power out of the Merlins, and pretty soon we couldn't run with them, and it just wasn't worth the effort to try and take Dreadnought to the next level.
So you didn't change it over from 2-seat configuration.
No.
You didn't chop it up, modify it, right?
No, we went with different canopies, more streamlined canopy setup than what is stock. This is a stock. Well, you can't see because of the wing, but it's a stock canopy setup for the dual control. So if you look at it, the rear seat canopy is a bubble canopy.
Yeah, it kind of sticks up.
Well, what they did is they took the front seat canopy and put it on the back.
Really?
Yeah. So when you look at the canopy.
Oh, okay. So it's like 2 separate canopies.
Yeah, there's 2 separate canopies with a tunnel. So it goes from a square-cornered 3-sided windshield you know, and then transitions, you know, smaller and narrow, comes back, and then flares out, and then the rear bubble has you know, the expansion, which is to keep the airflow attached to those up front. But bottom line is they took a front seat bubble on a Seafury, moved it to the back seat, put a tunnel and another canopy on it. So they're a little bulbous. Well, Dreadnought, we made our own canopies. You know, just to try and
streamline her a little bit without going nuts on the modification. Yeah.
Still 2-seat dual control.
Now the AT6 that you brought in, is that the German painted up one?
Yeah, it's the one right behind you.
Yeah. So what's the story with the German paint on that one?
Well, I bought it from a gentleman in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And it hadn't flown in 11 years, but he was flying it through the 80s. And he said he figured out that if he painted up in German markings, he could go to an air show, they'd give him a hotel room fuel, smoke oil, they'd go shoot him down every day.
To get shot down, I'll be the Indian.
He's the bad guy. So put up a Mustang, and him and the T6, the Mustang go shoot him down.
So he got a lot of mileage out of that.
Yeah. I thought, you know what? Why not? I'll leave it in the same markings. Or, you know, the paint's decent on it. There's no reason to change it. It's a great story. I loved his reasoning.
Oh, good.
And he really cracked me up, though. You know, I'm looking at the airplane with him, and he says, I got to tell you the story about the paint job.
Yeah.
And I said, well, this sounds like it's going to be a long story, so let's just hold off and we'll do it at lunch. So it comes lunchtime, he says, I got to tell you about this paint job. And I'm expecting he's going to tell me who the pilot was.
Shaggy dog story,
Just give me the full rundown and how they matched the paint. To
historically accurate.
Historically accurate. And he goes, yeah, we saw a picture of it, of this Falk Wolf in a magazine, and we decided to paint it that way.
That was it.
That's the story. Yeah, we had some gray paint. We went out there, we painted the gray paint, and then we put the markings on it. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? I said, looks awesome. I love it.
It does. It does look really good. And it wasn't part of the commemorative Air Force or any of the Tora Tora. Well, that would be the wrong.
A lot of the guys in these colors was the out of Van Nuys.
Yes.
Condor Squadron.
Condor, the one they just stuck one on the freeway here a year or so ago. Yeah.
Yep. In fact, some of the, when my friends knew I had bought this T6, I showed them pictures of it.
They said, "Oh,
then they saw the one that landed on the freeway."
Did you land on the freeway?
They'll call me up. Was that you? Thank God, no.
Yes.
My airplane is still in Texas, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't mine.
Well, good.
We took it from Pine Bluff to Texas, did some work on it in Texas, and brought it out here.
Good. And so where are you based out of now?
Well, I have my Cessna 210 commuter in Placerville.
Okay.
And I'm going to have the T6 based out of Tehachapi.
Okay. Very good. All right. Brian Saunders, right? Did I get that right?
Sanders.
Brian. Very good. Thanks, Brian.
And you gotta take a look at what's on the side of the airplane for the pilot, because it's Oberst Sanders. It was Oberst. Reed was the guy that owned it before.
Okay.
So we changed it to Oberst Sanders, and Oberst is Colonel. So it's
Okay.
Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders. All right.
I need to get a fried chicken for my pizza.
There you go. We'll get a rubber chicken.
A rubber chicken.
Good. Can I take a look up at the
please do.
cockpit there? All right. Check this out. This is Colonel Sanders' Kentucky Fried AT6 here. Of course, a lot of these old Warbirds fabric control surfaces for lighter weight and better control feel by keeping the controls nice and light. Aileron trim tab. Oberst Saunders. Now this one's a little easier to get up on. Step here, and here's a step and a handhold. And I think I can do this while I hold the camera. And up we go.
I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Don't need to go to Oshkosh, you just tune into the Blanco Lirio channel. So there's your basic old round dial instrument panel there. The sun's a little bit glary. There you go. Artificial horizon in the middle, airspeed on the left with a 225 mile an hour red line. That's mile an hour. Altimeter on the right. Next row down, you got the clock, VOR, compass, vertical speed, RPM, tachometer that is, and then the engine cluster temperature, oil and fuel pressures, cylinder head temperature down here, manifold pressure here. So remember, throttle controls manifold pressure and the prop control controls your RPM. So here's your throttle control here. RPM with the prop, manifold pressure with the throttle, mixture control. Elevator trim tab right there, fuel pump. So you can begin to see a pattern on these warbirds. They're all kind of built the same. Rudder pedals, a couple big vents down there, brakes, of course, on the toe brakes on the top of the rudder pedals. Bucket seats. Yeah, and the mic switch right there on top of the stick. Now let's go check out Tinker Toy real quick here, because it is a winning race plane. Yeah, but the Reno Air Races. Here it is, 244. Tom, when did you win the air races in this airplane?
Which time?
Which time? How many times did you win in this plane?
I won in, oh gosh, set 2 national records. Oh gosh, in 60, in 60, 9, let's see. No.
This was,
No, 80.
yeah, 80 something.
89,
Anyways.
in 89 and again 90.
Uh-huh.
And then I went to the Seafury.
Uh-huh.
And then Ken won in this airplane.
Ah.
Set a record that's never been equaled. That's
Really?
244.
Is that a qualifying speed or a
It's a
race speed? That's the average of the whole race.
The entire race,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
It's, yeah, a stock Seafury. This is a 1940 airplane.
Right.
First of the series. The other one, Kitchen Pass, is a 1944. Last of the series.
Okay.
Okay, this is a Royal Air Force airplane. That's a North American T6, American Air Force. And the other one there is a Navy airplane, but they're all built on the same pattern, North American.
Yeah.
All the parts are totally interchangeable, from the tail wheel to the prop hub.
Uh-huh.
Cylinders, everything to absolutely interchangeable. So right out of the box, 1940, straight and level, 5,000 feet. Brand new airplane would do 180 miles an hour. And
Yeah.
now we're going around the course.
A closed course.
Pulling 3.5 Gs on the course.
244. Man.
We're doing a 5-mile course at 244 miles an hour. And every time you pull G's, it slows you
Yeah,
down. So
yeah,
the
yeah.
airplane's faster than that,
Ah.
straight and level. Like in the Seafury, when I was running the big engine, 4,200 horsepower, I'd come off of Peavine Mountain down the chute at 550 miles an hour. And not many airplanes will do that. The North American Grumman doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Lyle Shelton in the...
It's all twisted up.
well, it does. Yeah, Lyle Shelton in the Rare Bear, you
Yeah.
know, that Grumman Bearcat.
Yeah.
He didn't like going that fast.
Yeah,
so I
look,
could-
his teeth was just
but
like
the
that.
Seafury is a better wing,
Yeah.
and it's a better control system.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't hold it. It's too damn heavy.
Mm.
Going around the turns, you know,
You lose the speed.
You pull 6 Gs coming around pylon 8, and it'll scrub 15 knots
Ah, yeah.
right away.
Yep. Huh.
And then you roll out. So really, doing that 9-mile course in less than a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, 9 miles in less than a minute. You're going like hell. I never could go quite that fast. I could run 480, but Skip Home and Dago Red and you know those hot rod Mustangs, you could you just can't beat them. If they're running good, you can't beat them.
Yep.
So I'd
Yeah.
stay. My tactic was to come down the chute and stay right in their shit and wait for them to blow up. you know?
Yeah.
That was my tactic. Many times it worked.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, it was great racing, great show. Mayday, mayday, and then here come the round engines, just keep on trucking.
yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, thanks, Tom. And what's the secret to getting a T6 to go fast? Is it the lightweight? I mean, because T6 is basically a stock class, so you can't modify them much.
Totally. I could tell you that, but then I'd have to kill you.
Yeah, so it's top secret
All right.
racing tricks.
All right, come on, I'll show you.
And he'll kill me later.
You have to close up the gaps wherever you can. See how the rivets are gone? The rivets are gone
Oh,
about
yeah.
17 inches.
Okay.
Okay, the tail plane has no rivets on the top. That's from a very early T6. So you swap parts around to limit the drag.
Uh-huh.
Okay? We stopped air from coming through the fuselage, because look here.
Ah, these little details of air drag control.
Here's the secret.
Racing Secrets with Tom Dwelle.
A quarter-inch hole in the airplane is the same drag as a 3-foot rod sticking out perpendicular normal to the airframe.
Really?
Oh yeah. So you close all that up. See how the rivets are all going here?
They're gone, yeah. Huh. So aerodynamic smoothness and closing up any holes in the airplane.
Yeah, there are no holes. You got to stop air from moving even through the cockpit.
Yep.
When I'd race, Tommy was very small, and he'd get in the back and tape up the canopy. He'd tape everything out. And then he'd crawl out through the front and get out. Nobody else could do that. He was real little. And then taxiing out, I'd take a roll of clear tape and I'd close the canopy and I'd tape it all up on the inside.
You tape them in there, huh?
I tape myself in there, yeah. So come around the front. See how smooth this
Yeah,
is?
look at that. See, that's
Before-
smooth over.
Look at this wing. Race up and look down the wing.
Oh,
Ken
yeah.
spent
Look
2
at
months
that.
with a wing on a big bench and a curved sanding board.
Uh-huh.
And you know, we'd put 10 pounds of a sealer on there,
Mm-hmm.
and all of it, virtually all of it, ends up on the floor.
Yep.
Look at that wing.
Yep.
It's perfectly smooth.
Man.
Okay. Like here.
So that's how you keep the weight down.
See the wheels?
Oh, yeah. little-
We would caulk this up here,
Mm-hmm.
and we would shave the tires.
Really?
We would shave the tires, and then we would reverse the hooks here, so it pulls up into the wheel well, way up to
Oh, it
here.
pulls up way tighter.
Clear up to
Uh-huh.
about here,
Uh-huh.
and then you clean the tires all up.
Uh-huh.
And-
Because there's no door covering these wheels on an AT6.
No, well, here's
Just
the door.
just that amount.
Well, here,
But you got all that wheel
that's right.
sticking.
That, from here on, see, it hangs out.
Right.
So we would seal that with sealer,
Uh-huh.
and see the seal here?
Yep.
Once it goes up,
Yep. Racing details,
That's
racing
sealed.
secrets.
all the way. See here? These collapse around the tire, and the same in the back.
Yep, and seals it up tight. Now, in the engine, big old round engine, there ain't a whole hell of a lot you can do up here, or is there?
Oh, now I really would have to kill.
Yeah, you got to tighten up all that baffling, I suppose.
That's right.
Just
The
tighten it up.
baffles, you probably can't see that, but the baffles are totally sealed in there. The only air
Okay.
moves through here, goes through the veins.
Through the fins itself.
That's right.
Right where it needs to be.
That's correct. And then we could shrink the cowl. That other airplane, yeah, Larry Klassen.
Yeah.
Larry Klassen is the engine doctor.
Yep.
He's the man. He built all the engines that.
Yeah, I remember seeing
that
him for
won that
years.
Reno.
Now, what'd you say about shrinking the cowl? You could tighten it up a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That airplane over there. This is really good. Nobody ever caught us at that.
Ha 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 ha.
Smaller, you're trying to make your
Frontal area smaller.
yeah, the whole area smaller.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't area rule an airplane with straight wings, but that's why they went to swept wings and a Coke bottle shape, like the F-106
Mm-hmm.
had a Coke bottle airplane I flew during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Well, that becomes supersonic aerodynamics too, that whole Coke bottle shape, isn't it?
Well, no, that helped, but the F-102 didn't have the Coke bottle shape. So
Mhm.
the Coke bottle, the F-106, and a bigger engine. We had 24,500 pounds of thrust
Mm-hmm.
with afterburner, and boy, it went like hell. Today, the F-106 that I flew during the Cuban Missile Crisis in October 1962 is the fastest single-engine airplane in the world, and it's 2.4 Mach. 2.4 something XXX.
Yeah.
And that's going like hell.
Yeah, it
I
is.
tell you.
Ah.
I've flown a number of times on test flights, and we used to do Mach 2 runs and simulated attacks against the United States during exercises.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, I didn't like going that fast because I used to run the seat down.
Yeah.
And coming back off a 50,000 foot mission, 60,000 foot target mission, wearing a full pressure suit. We trained with the astronauts, had a full pressure suit. Ours were orange. And I said, geez, I don't know. So I ran the seat all the way down and had a total electrical failure, AC/DC failure. And I'm going 2 times the speed of sound at full power.
Shit.
And I thought, oh my God. So I came out of full afterburner, went to full military power, and headed back towards the base. And I slowly, because the pumps aren't working anymore.
Yeah.
We're just the engine-driven fuel pumps. And I thought, oh my God, but I'm high altitude and I'm going like hell, and I know I could make the runway, but the seat's all the way down. Now,
and you can't get it, pump it back up?
Bring it up.
You can't see to land.
And Don Tharp was on mobile control, and I said, Don, I'm stuck with the seat down. I got trouble. He says, I can see you do. I said, look, buddy, I'm going to fly a tight pattern, and I'm going to come in real tight, and I'm going to do a Colonel something, Cameron, attorney approach, and I'm going, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got a good smoke, huh? Yeah. See, none of us can sit still when a plane goes by, especially with smoke on.
That's good smoke. So I said, Don, I can only see sideways just barely over the rail, so you got to tell me when I'm done. He said, okay, 10, 20 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, 11 feet, 10 feet. Okay, come on down. Boom, you're down. Get the drag chute, boom, pull that, and then it's all over.
Ah, you made it.
So, yeah, that's...
and which aircraft was that again?
F-106.
F-106, all right.
The Delta Dart.
Uh-huh. Oh, what a great story.
Fastest single engine jet aircraft in the world.
Fastest single engine. That's the secret. Yeah. Tom Dwelle, War Stories. You can only hear this kind of information here on the Blanco Lirio channel, complete with racing secrets.
I was there, and I'm lucky to be. When I say I'm lucky to be here, I really mean it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We were young.
Yep.
And bulletproof. Man. That's a damn good thing.
Yep. They don't do that anymore.
Interesting time. Well, they do.
Yeah.
Actually, there's guys right now out in the desert. Damn right they do.
Yeah, good.
And bulletproof, and it's a good thing.
It's kind of.
They haven't seen anybody take the kind of fire that we had in flying close air support in 1965. Our Skyraider losses, the Douglas A-1E Skyraider, our losses were the highest of any World War II aircraft in any war. Our losses were the highest. We started off with, we lost all the Skyraiders. In the end, there were about 4 or 5. And when we lost Vietnam, the Vietnamese flew them into Thailand, and we got 4 of those back. One was a side-by-side A-1E, like what I flew, and then the other 3 are a single seater.
So describe for us the basic concept for the SPAD A1 was close air support for downed crew members. Was that your primary?
Later in the war.
Okay.
Early in '65, our primary mission was. This ought to be good here.
Oh yeah, here we get some smoke on.
Later in the war, or early in the war. Our primary mission was to close air support. That's troops in contact. So Vietnam was full of special forces camps. Many of them had artillery, had a couple of tubes in each of the forts, and Vietnamese towns and villages where we had troops, CBs building, defenses and so forth, and Army advisors
Mm-hmm.
to the ARVN, the Army of Vietnam, and when they'd come under attack, they'd call us. I suppose I have 100 missions off night alert, and I never slept one time. Because the Kong always attacked at night, and especially at night when the weather is
It's
bad.
crappy, and so you're going out there night IMC.
Well, no, you can't do IMC.
Yeah.
Well, coming and going, coming back. We never went out IMC. We stayed below it, and typically rain and blowing Quonset huts. It didn't bother us a damn bit. We worked 2-ship flights at night and always 4-ship in the day, 2 bombers and 2 night bombers.
But you didn't have any terrain avoidance kind of technology.
No, we had 2 Mark 10
Eyeballs.
eyeballs.
Yeah, but you can't see a goddamn thing at night.
And a 1 to 250,000 map sitting on my lap. We did have TAC-in,
Yeah.
tactical air navigation.
Yeah.
And but after 100 missions, and I got 270.
Yeah.
You get some coordinates, 8-digit coordinates,
Yeah.
6-digit coordinates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-digit coordinates. And you go out and find it with just sitting there with a map on your lap. I mean, we knew the country that well.
And who did you have overhead help coordinate the whole air show for you?
Many times, usually we were supposed to have a FAC, a forward air controller, flying an L-19. That's a good question.
Was it the Ravens? Did you work a lot with the Ravens, or?
No.
Yeah.
No, those guys were flying out of Udon, Thailand, into Laos. They
Okay.
worked for General Van Pao, the Hmong, the Laotian
Right.
commander.
Right.
And they worked with the Hmong forces. So, no, that was a CIA operation, and we could see them coming and going. But no, we didn't ever work with them. They had air support from T-28s.
Okay, that's right. They had the Hmong
the
translator, the
yeah.
guy in the back, helping them in the back of the T-28.
Yeah, I had a Vietnamese interpreter, a Vietnamese guy in the right seat with me during the early in the war. But we weren't there.
Yeah, right.
So
You weren't supposed to be there.
The airplanes were painted up like Vietnamese Air Force airplanes, VNAF, and I had to have a little guy, a Vietnamese airman, in the right seat. So if I crashed, he was the pilot, and I was the advisor. Well, it was Secretary McNamara's war.
Yeah.
And he fought it brilliantly when he was the Secretary of Defense. But after he quit, he just turned into a real dove.
Put the strings, too many strings attached.
Oh yeah. And it was awful after that.
Yeah, got a lot of folks killed. Wow.
Anyway, that's it. That's the only two. Oh, one more thing. The Sky Raider. We had 4 20 millimeter guns, 800 rounds of ammunition. Every 5th one was a tracer.
Okay.
The other 2 was high explosive and armor piercing incendiary. And so when you see a tracer, there's 4 more in there somewhere.
Yeah.
4 guns firing, 50 rounds a second.
Oh man, that's laying down some lead.
Half the speed of a Gatling gun. The M61A1 Gatling gun that we had in the F4, that was 100 rounds a second. So this would do half that. And mind you, this was designed at the end of World War II, and they fought in
Vietnam.
They fought in Korea. And then we had them in Vietnam. There's nothing like that. Nothing ever. I went on to the Rand Corporation to help design the requirements for what became the A-10.
Yes, I was going to say.
Because they hadn't seen anybody come back with the kind of close air support experience like what we had. I mean, close air support. There's nothing like that, man.
Yeah.
It becomes last one to die wins. You fight until
attrition.
they're all dead or you're out of ammunition,
Man.
and then here's 2 more or 4 more right behind you.
Yeah.
So you never give up. You
Yeah.
never give up. And we lost a bunch of airplanes doing that, but we saved a lot of lives.
Yep.
I put out a video. Google Tom Dwelle Vietnam Sky Raider, and you'll see a
Okay.
25-minute video on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And it's really good, and I bared my soul with a lot of the stories I've just told you.
Good.
And it's
Wow.
and I took a lot of heat, a lot of comments. So a couple of guys kept tuning in on that video, saying, "Where are you going? Home?
Yeah, so the
Hey,
big
wait
parties.
for me. Let me get my shoes."
I could get him on the
Huh? Okay.
put him on the back of the RZ.
So, yeah, a couple of guys said you're a Yankee Air Pirate, and that was my call sign, actually. Hanoi Hannah, the day I got to Vietnam in February '65, Hanoi Hannah. We had to listen to the red radio, Hanoi Hannah, every night.
Oh, boy.
Every time a new class got 10 guys came in, 10 Sky Raider pilots. Lieutenant Wiley, we're going to kill you. You're going to die, my D. Puchai. You're going to die. Yankee Air Pirate. Yankee Air Pirate. So that was the name of one of my T6s that we raced.
I remember that. Yeah,
Yankee
yeah.
was yellow Yankee Air Pirate. So that's it. I don't know any more.
That's
war
some
stories.
good. That is some historic stuff. I never knew this was going to go so deep into it, but man, this was a fantastic, historic opportunity. I won't be able to do this tomorrow, the air show day, because we'll be so busy showing everybody everything. So what a fantastic afternoon chatting with Tom Dwelle and everybody from the Dwelle family here at the Nevada County Airfest 2019. That is some historic footage. Wow. So I can't get to all your questions. I'll look them up later and see and maybe tomorrow I'll go through them tonight, look at your questions and see what I can answer maybe tomorrow. We'll do some more live feeds tomorrow. How does that sound? And get some more of your questions answered. The B-25's up here. We can take a look at that. Just a neat night. We've been at it over an hour now. We gotta go. There's a big party up there. I'll show you a little bit of that later on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much for the super chat and watching the Blanco Lirio channel. See you here. Good idea. Let's see if I can. He's already on the fuel truck. Yeah, this live feed will all be posted for posterity. See you here.